Green tea. Super Saubana to all of you. So happy to see you all. I am very well rested and relaxed. You know, the last 10 days have been super busy. First with me going to Greece, then me going to Delhi. It was so hectic and I'm just like now calmed down and relaxing. So done with all the travel. I hope I'm here for some time now. Alright, let's see who all are here. Let's welcome all my gorgeous Insta fam people. E-Cafe, Divya, Aditi, Anita, Richa, Homemaker Entrepreneur, Saksh, Karan17, Dhams, Upcom Rose, Megs, Queens, Prats, Anand, Smriti. Oh, thank you, Smriti. Mind Coach Richa, Megha Kapoor, Baiju, Riddhi Thakkar, Shweta Mulchandani. Hi, darling. Nikita, Neela Batvia. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. I've got to do this better. Priyanka Patil. Okay, Priyanka Patil's already started with her questions. How to make our personality better and how to stop chasing people. Priyanka, as far as making your personality better, I feel like there are a lot of different components that create our personality. To me, the number one thing that I have worked very hard on is to train my brain to see the positive in people and in things. And the minute I do that, I feel like my entire personality transforms into a person that's more attractive rather than a person who, like you said, chasing people. So if you want to really, so I'm going to marry both your questions of how to make your personality better and how to stop chasing people. The minute your personality is better, automatically you will stop chasing people, because guess what happens? Instead of chasing, you start to attract people into your life, and that's what I want for you. And for that to happen, I feel like a lot of us, remember this, negative energy repels. Too much if you spend time with people who are always complaining, blaming, making excuses, have a very negative outlook. Though you will feel bad for them, you can feel sympathy for them, but most of the time being around them is energetically draining. So you don't want to be around them, so don't be that person that other people don't want to be around. So I think just training our brain to look for the positive, and one of the ways I've been able to do that in the last 15 years is by every single day shifting my mindset to writing gratitude every day, no matter what. I'm saying no matter what. The last few days I couldn't write because I myself was traveling, but this morning I wrote like 50 gratitudes because I had missed it for 3-4 days and I was really missing writing my gratitudes. So but that's really what's benefited me a lot. Starting to see life with a different lens helps in growing our personality. And you know what? People love being around calm people. People love being around inspiring people. Why do you think so many of you are here today? Because there's something that pulls people to you when you are a positive human being who can give hope and encouragement rather than always telling people what can go wrong. So see, Priyanka, if you can work with that. And thank you for this beautiful question to start today's session. Kaveri, God bless you, my positive mentor. Love you too, Kaveri. Baiju, this is, it's called White Sky Tea. So what I'm having right now is called White Sky Tea. I actually love white tea, so something I really enjoy. Image Design Consultancy saying, Saubana, second time in the day. How many of you were there this morning for the Law of Attraction Day 1 session? How lovely. Please tell me in the chat box, how was it for you day 1? And have you done your desire dumping or not, okay? Anita Gupta, hi Puja, loved seeing your dancing crazy. That's why I love you. You're just like me. Enjoy the crazy. Thank you, Anita. Yeah, honestly, I was contemplating, should I put this video up or should I not put this video up? Because it was quite crazy, at least for me. I'm normally quite elegant in my dancing. I don't go that mad, but sometimes I do. And that was one of those times when I had. But honestly, the kind of response all of you've sent and the amount of love that video has gotten, so clearly my doubts were only in my head. Oh, so sweet. Shweta Mulchandani saying, loved your dancing video. Thank you for all of you who've sent me love on that dancing video. It's always helpful. Precious mom _ moms are marvelous. Firstly, I love your name. My father-in-law has stopped talking to me for some or the other reason. How to handle that? Well, I think that needs a little more conversation than just, knowing the amount of information I have from you. However, having said that, whenever someone chooses to stop talking to us, we have many options that we can play with. One is to accept that as our new normal and move on with life. Secondly is to confront the situation and ask the person, is there anything I've done wrong? What has happened? Is there anything I need to apologize for? What did I do? Maybe I'm not even aware. Can you make me aware? And the third is to speak to people around you who can help you start conversation with him. So these are your three options. Look at which one is the one that works best for you. If you want to try all three, you can try all three. You want to start with one and see how that works. The whole thing is, in the hierarchy of a house, the father-in-law is right on top and the daughter-in-law is right in the bottom. Okay, if you imagine the house like a triangle, I want you to know father-in-law sits on top of the pyramid, then the mother-in-law, then the husband, then his siblings, and then comes the daughter-in-law in the patriarchal society. So when you take panga with the father-in-law, or when you let him be without responding, it can sometimes be a lose-lose situation for you, because you know what, the power in that person's hand is just way too much. Sometimes I believe that when we buy peace, Bazigar, you've heard that dialogue of Shah Rukh Khan, I really like it, कि हार के जीतने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं. So I always say, don't do it for your father-in-law, do it for your husband. Whatever he wants you to do it for him, because a lot of times when we bend for our spouse he starts to bend towards us. Otherwise, he's bending towards his parents. So if you truly want to gain the love of your own spouse, I would recommend sit down, speak to him, create a strategy and follow it. Take his help, because who knows that man better than his own son, correct or no? So see how you can use. I don't have enough information to give you, but I hope some of this helps you, my Jan. All the very best. These ego games we have to play, sometimes the drama can't be ignored. Saksh, today I got my CA results and I passed, but don't know why I'm unable to feel happy and just recognizing thoughts. If I had not passed, please help. Saksh, you know what? Sometimes we've worked so hard towards a goal that the journey becomes more important than the destination. And, the fear of losing it was way greater than the fear of gaining. This is basically psychology. In psychology, they always say that we always fear losing 10 times more than gaining something. For example, if I told you, please start running 5 kilometers every day because it will make you really strong. Versus if I told you, please start running 5 kilometers every day because you've been detected with diabetes, and if you don't, then you can start to have eye issues or this issue or that issue. So issues make us do things more than motivation towards the positive. So in case you're not able to yet feel your happiness, what I'd love for you to do is just journal your happiness. Sometimes we can't feel it, but when we sit down to write, just write about how proud you are of your achievement, how hard you had worked. Just live through the journey of what you had gone through and just be grateful to God, thank God in that letter, and just express it and dump it on paper, because that's very helpful. Because sometimes when something's very important to us, we go numb when we actually hear the news. Like last month was a big month for me, even at work, and I can tell you, everybody's been asking me, so how's it feeling, how are you experiencing it? Honestly, I'm just relieved that, it all worked out exactly the way I wanted it to. More than happiness, I think there's a sense of relief. And even that is an emotion, right? So I'm just enjoying the emotion of relief and being grateful for that. So see if any of this helps you, my sweetheart. Ira Botra, such a lovely way to get in touch with our feminine side. I guess you're talking about the dancing. All right. Oops. Where did I go? Kaveri, whatever you do is to uplift and motivate us. You share snippets from your life. So sweet, Kaveri, for you to have noticed that and mentioned it. Love you, Jan. Dr. Foodie, I love your vibe. Thank you. I take that as a big compliment because you know what? My entire tribe carries my vibe. So if you are in this room listening to me, it must be because there's a part of you that's also highly attracted to high energy because you yourself carry high energy. Sometimes it's coming out and sometimes we are surrounded in areas where the lotus can't blossom because it needs mud, but you are maybe planted on earth. So you need to shift a little bit of your focus and surround yourself with people that are similar so that you can become more of who you are. Mrudu Lavak, just thought to take a break from office work and you are here. See, I've got perfect timing between your work and your this break. I've shown up. Divya Pravi, I feel so overwhelmed to see you today. Why, my Jan? Why do you feel overwhelmed to see me today? I hope all okay. Divya, you're such a smart, such an amazing, such a gorgeous woman. Whatever. The more I'm getting to know you, the more I'm loving you, sweetheart. Artist Puja QnA, how to join the Law of Attraction course. If you haven't been able to join it this time, not to worry. I will make sure that we share some of the details here next time. Okay? It happens every month, so not to worry. We'll definitely keep sending you the information. Dhanu Joshi, beautiful earrings. Oh, thank you. This is all. I haven't yet fully unpacked my grease suitcase, so all the grease stuff is coming out. Palak Chawla, hello superwoman, hello Palak. Bharti Muttusamy, hi Puja ma'am, sometimes I'm out of track from my routine and work, how to overcome it? Bharti, there is nobody who can say that they are on track all the time. So I think one of the things you have to start to do, sweetheart, is to honor the fact that, you know what, you have to keep going back to your routine rather than staying in routine full time. This is what I say, that I think it's in the Atomic Habits book where he says that never put a gap of more than 48 to 72 hours of any activity, which means let's say you've decided to wake up every day at 6 o'clock. You don't do it today, you don't do it tomorrow, then day after it's absolutely mandatory for you to do because you don't want more than a third cross. 2 crosses are okay. That means 2 days of missing any activity, becoming off track is okay, but you never have a third cross. So even if you have to, let's say, brush at night, and on the third day you have to wake up in the middle of the night because you had forgotten and you go brush your teeth and come back just to put the tick, do so. So learning to understand that life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And when you're running a marathon, you'll have different speeds at different points because energy keeps changing. So you have to start to guide yourself instead of hammer yourself. We are so good at beating ourselves up when we miss 1 or 2 or 3 things, or if we are consistent with 5 things but we're not able to be consistent with 1 thing. I would rather you gain confidence by recognizing what all you are able to do than the things that you're not able to do. Okay? Fortunate Purnima, hi Puja, I'm completely in love with you. Double kisses for you, Purnima, for just saying that, my Jan. $50.26414, ये कैसा नाम होता है भाई? What to do when in-laws keep taunting and this makes me upset? So you know what, I believe that the whole setup of in-laws is a setup where the daughter-in-law is at a disadvantage, okay? And I always say this, that if you can change your relationship by changing your expectations. If you want to change your relationship, you have to change your expectations. And one of the expectations you can have with your in-laws is that they come as bonus. Focus on the main relationship, which is your spouse. A lot of us are spending a lot of our time talking about people we hate to the people we love most. And I feel like that makes all our relationships toxic because we are taking the toxicity of the hated relationships and bringing them into the relationship that should have been nurtured. So I want you to change your energy, okay? Whatever your in-laws say, what if they were the bonus, okay? It's like buying a lottery. What are the chances you'll win the lottery? Very less, right? The same is with in-laws. What are the chances you'll get the perfect in-laws? Very less. Those of you who share great relationship with in-laws, enjoy it. And those of you who don't, get over it, because you know what? Life is so much more than just that. I think it's about time we took our power back. We took that remote control of our life back, because we are letting some other people of our life decide our entire life, our mood, our day. I remember there used to be a time where when I used to fight with anyone in the house, especially Puneet, I would waste the whole day. I wouldn't care for my time. I wouldn't care for anything. He would leave in the morning. I would start sulking, and I could sulk like hell. Like I could sulk the whole day. He would come back expecting abhi tak to bhul gayi hoegi, but main kuch bhi nahi bhulti thi. Like I would remember word by word all he had hurt me, and I would continue that fight in the night also. Why am I sharing this with you? You know why? Because I feel like so many of my precious, beautiful years I wasted in all of the drama that I participated in. So I'm going to recommend to you really from my heart that start to surround yourself by better people, start to focus on your future, see where it is you want to go. You can either spend time in your past, which is look at the labels, the memories, the taunts, the words that other people are saying, or you can start to build a life so beautiful that your sweetest revenge will be your success. And to everyone in this room, if you really want to revenge on some people who've hurt you, I would recommend highly that instead of becoming verbal, go quiet. And you know, when we go quiet, our nuclear power inside starts to generate a certain amount of energy that when we focus that towards our future and towards our success, who we start to become is beautiful. I always say this, that negative fuel in the beginning is way more powerful than even positive fuel. So sometimes it's good if you have something to prove to yourself and to others, because that gets us really our blood boiling, and that puts us in the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to encourage each one of you here, if you have someone who's toxic around you, today I want you to take your power back. Every morning I want you to commit to yourself by saying, either I can have them in my life or I can have my future. Every time you choose them, remember you have given up on your future, which means whatever we focus on grows. So if you're focusing on negativity, guess what's coming the next day and the next day and the next day? We are going to go on making a loop of negativity. You need to get out of this vicious cycle. And how will you do that? When every single day you say, you know what? You can't control me. I'm not going to allow you to spoil my mood. I have decided to have a good day, and no one but me decides that I'm going to have a good day. I remember for about 5 years on my bathroom mirror, I had this written, I am responsible for my own happiness. Not my husband, not my in-laws, not my parents, not my brother, not my children. I am responsible for my own happiness. See if you can start to take your power back. I'm not joking. The amount of time we spend in complaining and blaming, if we just spend that time in affirmations and visualization, what we will land up creating will be a life by design. And today I really want all of you to start to create a life by design. Yes? With me, everyone. Together, let's make 2022 so beautiful that all these toxic people become your biggest fans. I know right now that will feel like that's not possible. I am not joking. It's very much possible. Okay? Kaveri Shubham saying, Puja, unknowingly I've started to model you. Absolutely. Do you know that till today I model all my teachers. I know in Oprah Winfrey what I love. I know in Mother Teresa what I love. I know in Michelle Obama what I love. I know in Sister Shivani what I love. I know, of course I have some relatives that I really admire, and I know the qualities. So every time I'm in a situation where I want to execute that quality, I totally emulate these people because they are so inspiring. So if you are not emulating me and you're coming for this session, from today onwards, start to ask yourself, what would Puja say in this situation? What would Puja do in this situation? And please, as a gift, take my energy, because that's what I'm here for, right? To serve all of you. Angel Vibes Girl. Nowadays, I'm reading your book, Unlocking the Golden Cage. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you. Bandhu 101, how to become a coach like you? Bandhu, there isn't an easier question you could have asked me. I am having a beautiful masterclass this Sunday. I would love for you to come for that, okay? The link is in the bio, so go to my Instagram page, go press the bio portion right on top, and I want you to register for it today. All of you here who want to become coaches or you would love to help the world, you know what, beyond even calling yourself a coach, I want you to start to think like this, that as you start to help others, guess who you'll end up helping most? You yourself. While I speak to you all of this, who's the one person who's listening from morning to evening my voice? Me. So where do you think maximum improvement is happening? With me. And imagine if every single day, whether you charged or you didn't charge, whether you want to do it for free or whether you want to do it more like a help, or I'm going to recommend to every woman here, think of becoming a coach. You know why? Because when you become a coach, you automatically start to role model a better life. You start to look at yourself with a different perspective. And one of the things that psychologists talk a lot about is what our identity is in our head is who we will play out. So it's not so much like people keep saying, no, comfort zone. People don't like to get out of our comfort zone. The truth is, it's not that we don't like to get out of our comfort zone. The truth is that we don't like to be anything but the identity we have given ourselves. And when we start to grow our identity, we start to grow ourselves. This whole comfort zone thing rather is a little bit of a scam. You know why? Because honestly, tell me, all of you who are mothers here, was it comfortable to have a child? Was it comfortable to get married? Was it comfortable to come into a new house? Was it comfortable to run someone else's kitchen? Was it comfortable? We are choosing uncomfortable all the time. So it's not our comfort zone. It is our identity. If we can visualize ourselves as mothers, if we can visualize ourselves as wives, if we can visualize ourselves as that person, as a successful entrepreneur, we will become that. I would encourage all of you today to start to visualize yourself as what I call light workers. Light workers are people who are walking around with their candle, burning other people's candle in the process, and the world is getting more and more awakened and aware because of people like us. And because you are coming to my room, I know 100% one of your values, like mine, is growth. And when growth is your value, there's no way you can walk around without inspiring people. So can I tell you, if you're watching this right now, pat yourself on your back and own the fact that you are already a light worker, whether you know it or not. I'm just saying, come learn it professionally now. Okay? All right. Can_5077. Ma'am, is it wrong to expect good-looking partner? Can we judge anyone by looks? Nice. I like your question. I don't know if anybody's really asked me this question. Can't remember. So, no. The answer is no. It's not wrong to expect your partner to be good-looking. There is a part of us who is attracted to aesthetics. Why is Taj Mahal or Eiffel Towers or the Grand Canyon the most visited places on this planet? Because there is beauty there, right? So beauty has attraction built into it. But if that is the only condition or the only reason why you're going to be with someone, then it's a very surface level condition. So let me explain this. If you are attracted to someone who's good looking, but they don't remain good looking over the years, they put on weight or something happens that their looks don't remain the way they are, will you stop loving them? Right? So that is one of the things I'd love for you to start to think about. Can we judge anyone by their looks? I know a lot of the world right now is judging people on their looks, on their skin color, on their age, racism, the entire casteism, everything is on looks mostly, correct or no? So how someone looks decides, what is the skin color decides how we will behave with them. Isn't that a very sad place to be in? So while for your own self, if you need a good looking partner, I don't want to discourage you from that. There's nothing wrong in aspiring to have a good looking partner. But I really hope that's one of the many things you desire, because you know what, within a few months, what I have seen in my life is you meet someone very good looking, but they don't have the personality to back up their looks. Even their looks fade away. They don't feel beautiful anymore to you because you are not able to connect with their energy. Then even their looks don't play any role for you. And if you meet someone who's not so good looking, and in the beginning you may judge them for not being good looking, but over the years they grow on you just because of their beauty or their amazingness, that really leads to a far more deeper relationship. So in my tribe, I always say, can we go beyond the skin? You know, God took clay, the same clay, okay, and made one pot tall and one pot short and one pot stout and one pot thin and one pot slim and one pot. It was the same clay. The only thing he did was he painted each pot differently. There was an African pot and there was an Indian pot and there was a Chinese pot and there was an American pot. And you know what? We all started to fight with each other that we are better or we are better or we are better by the paint that he had put on top. Not realizing that all of us are made from the same clay. Marianne Williamson says this so beautifully when she says the highest thought is not that we are all unique. The highest thought is that actually we are all the same. And if you can start to grow yourself into believing that we're underneath this, we are all the same. And when you start to look at people's soul, you know, I started today's session with Saubana. And when I say Saubana, I say the meaning of Saubana is I see you. I see you, not I look at you. When we look at people, we judge people. When we see them, we love them. Because you know what? When you connect from soul to soul, what someone's exterior is will not even matter. Now, having said that, I still don't want you to feel guilty about the fact that you want someone good looking. Each one of us have our own set of values, and in your values, there could be possible that beauty is one of your values. You generally like beautiful things. You are generally attracted to beautiful people. You have a pull towards beauty more than most people. The world wants to judge those kind of people. I don't want to judge. I just want you to own that yes, I'm attracted to beautiful people, but that's like, you know, for example, talent, okay? Talent is the start point of what you're going to land up doing in your life. It's not the end point. If I'm good, let's say the first time I wrote about my passions, I wrote, I love reading. So what was my talent? My ability to read books, correct? Now that was the start point. What I do with it is very different, correct? So these are all start points for God to guide us on the things that give us joy. For some people, riches attract them. For some people, the world attracts them, like traveling attracts them. For some people, a gypsy heart attracts them. For some people, fun and high energy people attract them. For some people, good looking people attract them. It's the start point to know that this is a person who may have qualities that I may be able to connect with. So it's the start point, not the end point. I hope I've been able to explain what I'm trying to say here, my dear Khan, but I don't know. I don't want you to worry about you judging or you wanting a good looking person as your partner. But I do want you to know that beyond that, what else? Add that and then this will also become fine. Okay? Your miracle stories. Which healing modalities have you learned and with which of them do you resonate with most? So miracle stories, honestly, I'm not a healer. Neither have I learned any healing modality as such. But I'm a big believer of healing. Okay, so I don't mean to contradict myself. However, the truth is I'm a big believer of pranic healing, Reiki, all sorts of meditations, distance healing, everything I believe in. And I'll tell you what my theory on healing is, okay? There are people in this world who can consciously use their mind to grow themselves. And then there are people who get stuck. Let's say you've had some past life traumas or childhood traumas and you're not able to process some of the emotions that have gotten stuck in your body and you don't have the power to remove them from your body, then you can take external help and get someone to help you process through those emotions, because emotions get stuck in our body and sometimes no matter how hard we try, they're so strong and so cemented that we are not able to take it out ourselves. I remember back in 2016, there was a time in my life where everything was just feeling like it's going wrong. So I just invited these 7-8 Pandits from Kerala. They do this lovely Nazar Puja. And I just shifted into my new house. It was a little fancy, so there was a lot of I was feeling a lot of nazar energy in my house, and so I did this beautiful puja, and suddenly I felt the whole energy shift. Now I had kept on trying to shift that energy myself, but mujhse ho nahi raha tha. So getting that outside help, whether through religion or through vastu or through feng shui or through any of these sciences, see, all of these sciences were great. Astrology, I believe in all of it. Palmistry, everything I believe in, because I do believe there used to be a science, but because quacks and pundits and people who were not worthy of carrying the mantle of these kind of sciences, they became scamsters. And they started to put fear in people to get money out of them. And that's one of the biggest disservice they did to their own industry. So today, that's why we are so careful when we have to believe any of this rubbish, because it feels like rubbish because people made it rubbish. Actually, there is so much science to it. I mean, I don't know, thousands of years ago, we knew the number of pi. We knew things that science has taken this many decades to come to. So I'm a big believer of healing. And if ever I need help, I outsource. Like when I had gotten COVID, I have lots of people in my tribe who are healers, and I requested them if they could do some healing work for me. Work like magic. Some of it did, some of it didn't, but some of it did. So like that, I keep on requesting whoever I'm in touch with that, if you could just help me with my healing. So I personally don't do any healing. I do conscious healing. Conscious healing is when you speak to people, and as they speak back to you, they go through the processing themselves. So mine is all conscious, but subconscious also works like magic. Both of them together is a deadly combination. So I always say, have a life coach as well as have a healer. That combination works like magic. I hope you got your answer for whatever you were inquiring. The real feeling. I feel it's very difficult to deal with the politics in the corporate life. It affects my performance. What can I do? Whatever word you will use to describe your situation will become a self-fulfilling prophecy of whatever you are experiencing. So if you say it is very difficult, then it is very difficult. Can I give you a suggestion? For the next 4 weeks, start using it is very easy. I'm easily able to deal with the politics. I'm easily able to handle my boss. I'm easily able to get out of situations most people won't know how to. I'm easily able to, and while in the beginning it may seem a little fake, can I tell you, as you keep on saying it again and again and again, there's a part of you that will start to believe it and will start to find evidence. The way our brain works is it looks for evidence. So I'd love for you to start to look for evidence. You say this long enough, our choice of words become our reality. Remember, we don't have a relationship with people or with things. We have a relationship with our thoughts. And whatever thought we put, that's the relationship we create with the outside world. So if you are creating difficult as your thought, and then creating a relationship of difficulty with your thought, then that thought will automatically present itself in your physical reality. Okay? So highly recommend to you from today onwards, just start to believe, pretend rather, act as if is how my teacher Jack Canfield would have put it. Act as if it's easy. Act as if it's a piece of cake. Act as if it's all going to work out for you. Act as if God is sitting in your cabin, and whenever someone walks in, he comes and stands behind you and is guiding you, is holding you, is touching your shoulder and saying, don't worry, stay calm, this is going to work exactly the way you want it to. And then watch, very patiently watch, because remember, whatever we start to put out, within a couple of days, when we shift our energy, the universe realigns itself to send us exactly what we expect. So I'm going to highly encourage every one of you here, whatever is that you are struggling with, whether it is money or it is a relationship or it is your corporate job or it is your boss or it is whatever it is that you are struggling with, your health, create a new relationship with it where you choose a new vocabulary. Change your vocabulary, change your life. Literally, I'm not joking. That's pretty much what I've done with my life. My choice of words today are so different from who I used to be back in 2000 to 2010. At that point, I used to use such big words to explain my drama that if I had a headache, I would give you a headache in the process of explaining my headache. You know what I mean? Like so much I will go into detail. Today I know better. Today I know. I remember learning this from one of my teachers, Mahatria. He said this so beautifully. He said, when speaking about good things, explain them in 5 sentences. When speaking about negative things or bad things, explain it in 1. So 1:5 should be your ratio of negative to positive in your speech. Just start to practice this. I can assure you the way your journey will go will be very different. And tell me next week, real feeling, how your journey in your work life has changed. Okay, I can assure you it will. Beyond the Vision is saying, haha, my mom says that I talk like you sometimes. Oh, that's so sweet. Manisha, how to overcome the opposite thoughts from coming ma'am? So Manisha, one of the things you have to understand is our intelligence was developed to be able to see the opposite. We live in the earth plane, which is the plane of opposites. If you went to heaven, in heaven there is only goodness and happiness and niceness and politeness, and it's all goody. Earth, to every good there is a bad, to every angel there is a devil, to every emotion where there is, we call it light and shadow. The same quality can be light when used to your advantage. The same quality can be shadow if it is not to your advantage. I always say there are words in our vocabulary which, like, let's say you call your child stubborn. Isn't stubborn also decisive? So you can call your child stubborn and make it look like it's a negative emotion, or you can call your child decisive and make that same situation a very positive situation, correct? So the opposite is bound to come. Okay, so whenever you are thinking, you should know that whatever you will think, the job of the mind is to show you the opposite. Okay, now if the opposite thought is empowering, keep it. If the opposite thought is not empowering, then let it go, let it pass, let it come and let it go. So for example, when the first time I had to do my Instagram live, I was like, what if I'm not able to answer questions? What if I'm not good with technology? What if it goes off? What if Wi-Fi goes off? What if I press some wrong button and something happens and I don't know how to deal with it? What if nobody comes? What if nobody asks me any decent questions to answer? What if I'm not looking the way I want to look? What if the whole iPad is not working on that day? What if the iPad is not charged that day? What if, and you know what, our brain can go crazy with the what ifs, true or not? But you know what? I allow this thought to come. Instead of energizing it and going into doubt, fear and making it mine, I just let it pass. What do you do when you let something pass? You only observe it, you don't experience it. It's like I always say in my meditation, I allow the boats to cross. I don't get onto a boat and start going in that direction. Ki, agar ho gaya to, and then I go even more downward spiral. Instead, I just watch and say, oh, acha, aa gaye. Whenever in life you'll do something to get yourself into the miracle zone, please know that the opposite is going to come. So the ability to control the opposite doesn't exist in any one of us. Even the Obamas and Trumps and the big guys in the world don't know how to control the opposite. Recently, I heard this very nice story about Michael Phelps, of how he used to handle the thoughts when he thought something opposite. So Michael Phelps was taking part in the Olympics back then when he made the record of 8 golds, I think, together at one shot. So when he had won his 7th gold, he was on that record-breaking 8th gold. When he jumped into the water, this was the sky swimming, it's called, okay? And when he jumped into the water, his goggles leaked. And normally when your goggles leak, the swimmer has no choice but to stop because they completely go blind in water, right? But what he did was he finished the 4 laps and he actually got the gold for that. So the journalist asked him that, how come, your goggles leaked and you didn't stop? He said, in my practice, I used to purposefully make my goggles leak and know that when my goggles will leak, what I will do. I used to visualize that scenario. I used to count how many strokes I need to do to get to the end. So the minute my goggles start leaking, I knew that I just have to start counting my strokes. So what he had done was he had prepared himself in his vision for the things to go wrong and how he will correct them. So one of the things I'm going to highly encourage all of you to do is, whenever something in your mind starts to show you a negative result or a negative output, see, you are more intelligent than that thought, okay? So all you need to do is take that thought to a solution. So in my head, I'm imagining, oh God, what if my children on the way have an accident because the driver's not picking up his phone, the maid is not picking up the phone, nobody's picking up the phone, what if something has happened? All of these opposite thoughts come to all mothers. If you're a mother in this room, you know exactly what I'm talking about, hai na? So at that point, what I will do, I will just let this thought pass, or I will give it a positive result, which means I will imagine that my children are saying, oh, हम तो गंगोत्री में रुक गए थे मम्मी गोलगप्पे खाने, तो कोई फोन नहीं उठा रहा था because हाथ में गोलगप्पे थे. That's it. I have shifted that thought to a positive output or a positive result. And you know what? Now I can calm myself down for some time till I get in touch with them. Like that, I would love for you to start to create solutions. Michael Phelps did such a fabulous job of looking for solutions whenever things will go wrong. Why you and I can't do it? Hai na? God bless you. Julie Thakkar, I have enrolled for your one-to-one session. Oh, Julie, that's lovely. I'm happy to have you, darling. Nissa QR is saying, I didn't get your book yet. Nissa, can you please be in touch with Divya and make sure your book reaches you, darling? Ankita Bhavishi, my in-laws always instigate my husband against me and we end up with fighting what to do. Ankita, get smarter than your in-laws. When they instigate him, you come up with a strategy that works for you, okay? I would love for you to start to come up with a better plan or a better way of how you can handle that instigation. So let's say you did something and he comes into the room, you start to guide him and tell him, you know what, when they speak like this to you, come and check with me. No, if I've done something wrong, I'll be happy to apologize, but at least ask me first. And then have that kind of conversation where instead of him and his parents, it becomes you, us and them. So one of the things what we do when we are dealing especially with in-laws is we make it about them. It's their house, their son, their everything, and we make ourselves the outsider. You are not the outsider. You are the one who's sharing the bedroom. So guess who he belongs to? You. So when you go into the bedroom with him, now own him. Don't disassociate with him. We'll end up fighting. We'll end up putting pillows between and sleeping. We do all of those crazy things. Instead, I want you to become a step smarter. And how do you become a step smarter? When you start to ask him, okay, guide me, know what should have I done? Next time, at least I don't want to make this mistake. You tell me. One of the best things to do is to help your husband give you a solution on the problem that has gotten created. When he will feel heard and you will start to follow him for some time, even if it doesn't work in your favor at that point. You remember me saying about Bazigar? हार के जीतने वाले को बाजीगर कहते हैं. That's exactly what I'm trying to explain here. See if you can go with him, because know one thing, that when you bend to him for his parents, he will start to bend towards you. And a time will come where his eyes will open that ये तो सब कुछ करती है, वो ही नहीं कभी खुश होते. And if you are able to take him to that place, oh my God, see, that used to be a huge fight now works into your advantage. Now you'll start to wait for them to instigate, because he'll be able to see that they are instigating, and how beautiful your life will become if you are able to show them that. But remember, you can never show him their instigation by putting them down. You can only show him their instigation when your love for him is greater than your hatred for them. So see if you can start to convert a new energy. I don't know, today looks like one in-laws session is happening, hai na? Okay, I'm going to go right to the bottom. Oh, it's 444. Let me read out all the gorgeous people who had participated in the challenge last week. 1 second, let me look for that sheet. Superb. So for all of you who participated last week, thank you so much. You know what, I'm absolutely thrilled at the number of you that are able to click my picture, share your takeaways and put it in your stories. You guys are totally rocking it. Please continue to do so. Puja QnA official, thank you for doing that. Aditi Ashish Kumar, Kavita Mithun, E Cafe, Prabha Manoj, Alior Crown, Shilpa Dadich, Mindful Parenting, Lakshmi Ravi Shankar official, Vivek Vasanta, Gauri, Kaveri Shubham, Mona Mika's Bakes, Nisha Life Coach, Artist Puja QnA, Ruchi Chauhan, S Mukherjee, Naina Dhumash, Anjali Divedi, book by Tess with Kavita, Life of Being Sneha Ticketed, I hope I pronounced that right, Success, Handwriting, Hidden Thoughts, Innovative Tarot, Trupti, Anita Gupta, Ujwala, Megha Kapoor, Sakina Sheikh, Vijaya Kopikar, Devika Wins, Image Design Consultancy. To all 31 of you, super congratulations. To all of you here, to these 31, can I tell you, reading your name week after week after week after week literally makes me feel like you're my fan. So I can't wait to get on to a call with all of you on Zoom. Remember, very soon we are going to be scheduling that. I think we're now to the end of those 12 weeks that I had spoken about. This week, the winners of the book are Shraddha Parab, Shraddha G Parab and Sindhu_life coach. Massive congratulations to Shraddha and Sindhu. Please send in your addresses. Divya will be in touch with you for us to send you the book. Okay, let's answer a few more questions. Let's go right to the bottom. Artist Puja QnA, the post that you posted today regarding being kind, and sometimes you told when you give more than you take, we get bitter. How to balance both? Nice. So I think one of the things very important on this journey is for you to know that you can always compensate. Okay. Now, what do I mean when I say this? Let's say I want to do something for someone, somebody's asked me for something and I want to set a boundary. And if I don't set a boundary, I will become bitter. Then what am I doing? I'm sacrificing that relationship in the first place. Instead, I can give them something else that I'm more capable of rather than saying yes to all of their demands. Let me give you an example. Let's say my mother-in-law is having a kitty and she wants me to come up and be around her friends the whole time. But I have a Insta live happening. So I will tell her, Mom, I won't be able to come for the kitty at 4 o'clock because you know what, I have an Insta live. However, is it okay if I send 2 salads up? So what I'm doing is I'm creating a compensation because I love her. I don't want to hurt her, but I have to learn to prioritize what is important to me too. And the more guilty I feel towards her, the better I will act towards her. So being guilty towards the people you love, there's nothing wrong with that till the time you can create a compensation later. So learning to say no to make sure that your life is prioritized and learning to say yes with a delay or with something else is also very important for other people to feel loved. So kindness on actions that you want to do and boundaries on actions that you don't want to do. When you start to understand the balance of these two, you will start to live a far more improved and evolved life. So let's take examples like, let's say my chachi saas walks in just when I'm taking both my children to the zoo. At that point, I have to either disappoint my chachi saas or my children, right? And then I have to choose who am I going to disappoint. Let's say I decide to disappoint my children. I'm just giving an example that, okay, she's come after many years and she's going to come only after many years and them I can take even tomorrow. So I'll sit my children down and say, look, I know this is going to be very disappointing, but what if we go to the zoo on Saturday and not only I take you to the zoo, after that, let's go for dinner to your favorite place and you both can order your favorite pizzas. Now, what am I doing? I'm trying to soften the blow on the people I love most, right? So what I'm doing, I'm creating a good compensation because I'm guilty that I'm not able to keep the promise that I had made to them, right? And so I prioritize my chachi saas maybe on that day. But let's say this chachi saas decides that every time she's going to walk into my house without, informing me. Now, the second time when she does it, guess who I'm going to choose? Not her. Because you know what, that is her pattern, but I have a plan. So I will tell her, you know what, I'm so sorry, but I've committed to my sons today. Please sit with mama. Once I come back, I will definitely come back and spend time with you. Or if nobody is at home, I will tell her that, you know what, would you like me to do a saloon booking for you? Would you like to go for a massage? Because I have to take my children out. But when I come back, what am I doing? I'm creating the compensations that I am willing to pay, but I'm not willing to go bitter and resentful in my heart that I hate the person so much that the exact relationship that I was trying to save actually gets destroyed because I have so much bitterness and resentful emotion inside. Are you getting it? I really hope Artist Puja QnA, I've been able to clear how to balance the kindness but also not get bitter towards people that matter. Millie Joban Putra. Hi Puja, how much important it is to have rituals, goals in close relationships? If not set any goals, what are the other ways to maintain good bond in relation? Millie, everything is important and everything is not important depending on where you are in that relationship. If that relationship is already an 8, 9 or 10, maybe very little work needs to be done to maintain it. But if the relationship is not at its best, then having goals in that relationship will definitely benefit, because what do goals do? Goals give you clarity, goals give you direction. So when I am with someone and I have both of us have a common goal of some sort, it helps us grow together, correct? If not set any goals, what are the other ways to maintain a good bond in relationships? See, basic relationships need good communication. So the more you can improve your communication, the better. Most of the time we communicate expressing what we don't want. If we can just shift our way of expressing what we do want rather than making people defensive and attacking them. So instead of saying, you're always on your phone, I don't know, you don't love me or what, you don't care, every time I see you, you don't have any time for me. Instead of saying all of these things, you can always tell the person, you know what, I will need 15 minutes of your time. Tell me at which point can I interrupt you, because I don't want you to be on your phone. I would like all of your attention for those 15 minutes. So can you give me a time? What am I doing? I'm asking for what I want rather than accusing the person for what I don't want. So one of the most beautiful or easy ways to actually start to improve every relationship is not to say what it is you don't want, but to start expressing what it is you want. Like for example, my son is down from London these days, and every time I see him, I want to say something in regard to a demand or a command that I want from him. But I realign my questioning. He just came out. So I realign myself. Thank you. He's gone to the kitchen. I realign myself to say, you know what? Don't accuse him. You want to spend time with him, create a date night with him, ask him what he's interested in. Right now, he just went to Delhi with me, so we got 2.5 hours going in the aeroplane, 2.5 hours coming back. It was such a lovely bonding time. Now, I have to literally steal time from my children's life, because right now they both are, busy building their lives. They are at that space or at that level where friends are more important than parents, and we all come into that phase at one point where friends become more important than parents, which is totally okay. I have to understand rather than accuse. With me? So like that, I would love for you to start to see in every relationship, how can you contribute what it is you want? How can you create the environment for it rather than waiting for the other person to do it? And especially for those of us who are busy nagging, that's a very negative way or a very poor way of communicating. Yes? All right, let me quickly pause before we, Anita is so sweet. She's like, pause please. Okay. Here, everyone, quickly get your picture. You know what you need to do, right? Quickly click a picture, write your takeaways, share it in your story. Don't forget to tag me. Make sure I share it in my stories so that you can become one of my winners. And when we will meet as the InstaFam Zoom call, I can't wait to hear from each one of you. I can't wait to get to know each one of you personally, see each one of you. That will be one of those very special days for me, and I'm sure for you. So come on everyone, quickly. Which pose do you like? Let me go right to the bottom. Yeah, works. With the tea. Sometimes I find this so funny. Got it? Oh, the thumbs up. V for victory. Is it like this or like this? Like this? All. Cool. I hope you got at least one. Sparkling Soul Heals. Let's do one last question before I run. Ma'am, please answer. My husband is very loving and caring, but he doesn't spend much on me. For little things, I have to ask him several times, what shall I do, ma'am? Right now, I can't earn. Sparkling Souls, one of the problems of the Indian wife is that we turn beggars when we get married. Unfortunately, if you have a kind husband, he may be a very nice husband, but he may not be a very kind husband. I can tell you that one of the things with Puneet is he'll always ask me, do you really need it? And that question used to get me so furious, because I used to be like, no, it's not like I'll die without this bag, or I'll die without this watch, or I'll die without this, I don't really need it, but I would love to have it. And he said, okay, but if you're not so keen, then skip it. For him, everything was about need. For me, everything is about what I desire. I like to value my desires. He likes to value his needs. Like for me, when the latest iPhone will come, I say, I want the latest iPhone. And he'll be like, but the 12 or 13 mein farak hi kya hai? Apple mein, Puja, it's just this much difference, but the money difference is so much. For what you need the new iPhone 13? And earlier on, when he used to be paying for me, this was a constant discussion in our house on, the needs versus wants. So eventually I asked myself that, Puja, you want it. Why are you expecting him to give it to you? You want it, you earn it. Okay? Or you save money for it. And I remember at one point very consciously in my marriage, I said, I want to remove this topic of money, because his values to my values are two separate values. I am extremely generous with myself and with people around me. I give to myself and I give to everyone around me. He's extremely conservative with his money. That's just the way he's brought up. He's every rupee matters, value for money is there. That's just the kind of person he is. For me to think he's wrong, or for him to think I'm wrong, both are not wrong. We're just brought up differently, right? So that's where I was coming from, and I realized that became a constant pain point in our relationship. And every time the fight would happen, I would feel like he doesn't truly love me. I don't know why I would make that connection, but I would start to doubt everything, because I would say, agar itna bhi nahi kar sakta, itna bhi nahi. And so I remember a day where very consciously I said, whatever I want, Puja, go earn it, go get it. And if you can't earn it, stop demanding it, because you have no right to just keep demanding. You want it, save your money, buy yourself the iPhone 13. He's giving you some pocket money. If he's not giving you any pocket money, Sparkling Soul, see if you can encourage him to start giving you a pocket money. Because that you can save and then start to buy the things that you absolutely love. That's one of the way we Indian wives have accumulated all of our jewels and wealth and desires, by accumulating money, by saving on the house money. If you get any house money, then we normally save on that and all of those things till you can start to earn, right? Now, when you've so clearly put, I can't earn, I'm going to challenge that thought also. I would love for you to start to ask yourself, if a cow can earn, for a family of 4, if a cow can give milk and earn, I am to an intelligent, full-on human being with complete brain. Why I can't? Today there are so many opportunities in the world. Sitting from the comfort of your home, you can contribute and add value and a meaningful contribution to this world. And I can assure you, there's nobody today who cannot earn. And if you are not a part of my tribe, I encourage you, come join me at my level 2, either with the Awakening or with Coaching Mastery, and let me show you the kind of opportunities that are showing up in the world. And I can tell you, so many women in my tribe, when they had joined, they had zero confidence around earning. And today they are earning in lakhs. And I feel so proud that their entire life, their confidence, their talk, their walk, everything has changed because of who they have become. And pretty much the same for me. My journey is also very similar. So I'm going to highly encourage you that, we are married to such amazing men, but we are not able to value them for one simple reason, because wherever there is conflict, instead of resolving it, we are putting petrol over it. Every time we are getting into that fight, our relationship is going down instead of up. So see how you can get out of this particular situation. It's very similar to mine, so I hope the answer satisfies your question. Bless you, my darlings. Oh, it's sharp 5 o'clock, so I am going to run now. I can see there are so many questions still coming in. I always feel so bad that I'm not able to answer all the questions. So if I missed your question for whatever reason, my personal apologies to each one of you here, because I honestly feel bad. I wish I could take every single question, but for some reason, I know some of you feel like, Puja, you answered the question right above mine and you answered the question right below. You only skipped mine. Trust me when I say this, I don't do this purposely. Whatever I read is what I answer. It's never purposeful. I will never miss anyone's question. If I read it, I will answer it. Okay? Love you all. Thank you so much for coming. Take care. Bye. Ciao.